there on the top left of your screen over a 10-year period. Beach volleyball partnerships are like marriages, and that lasts longer than some marriages.
Yeah, that is the opposite of a Hollywood marriage, right? It's one that's lasted the test of time, and they seem to never kind of have too significant of a dip in their level. They're always at a high level. They're always contenders in any event in which they play, and we've seen that here already in Utrecht. They played a great round one, came out top of their pool, and they'll have the golden ball and the opportunity to try and employ it.
Well, that is, well, you mentioned the golden ball, Rich. It's the first time we've seen the teams earn the golden ball. Lily and Elsa have the golden ball. The golden ball is a new sort of its kind. It's brand new to the sport, and it's brand new to King of the Court.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw in the post-game interviews that players were elated to win it, unsure about how to use it. And so it'll be interesting to see how, especially with Lily and Elsa having the first opportunity to try and use it, will they need it even? If they get out to a great lead, how will they use it? They might not even need it, but will it become a pivotal thing where their backs are against the wall, they have that chance to redo a play that maybe they lose at a critical time, and they get a chance to run it back?
Absolutely. The golden ball is there for the winner of the previous pool. So phase one is allowed to use the golden ball to replay a point. It's called a wash in beach volleyball, but they can replay a point. The score doesn't count. It's a replay, and then that second play counts. So it's a game of chance almost, but it gives the players a chance to almost have more control than the referee.
For one play at least.
For one
Certainly,
play.
yeah. And it's, it's tough because do you use it early on and you want to try and build a lead? Do you hold on to it and maybe you don't have the opportunity to use it? It's a bit of a game of chance. But we draw cards to start. There's chance involved in card games. So I think it's very fitting for this format.
Absolutely, and it is Lily and Elsa that lead the way out onto this show court. 147 competitions together. They've already qualified for the Olympics in 2021, and it's another Olympics for Lily and Elsa. But second, we have Marta Menengati and Victoria Orsi, who came very close to qualifying for the Olympics at the same competition as the Spaniards back in China last October. They're the second team out, followed by, well, another team who impressed yesterday. We haven't spoken about the Czech team of Kubakova and Gavapilova yet, Rich, but they were the underdogs, but they came out on top, or they qualified well.
Yeah, very physical team. They can be impressive. It's just a matter of finding their form. They did a great job of it yesterday, and if they can continue that today, they'll certainly be somebody to be trifled with.
The experienced Emily Day and April Ross have made their way out, but you will hear big support for Emma Piersma and Buck Stuber. Stuber from a volleyballing family that includes Joy Stuber, who's just retired from the sport. Piersma, a Dutch champion last year with Plun Epma. This team led by Richard de Kogel in the program that he runs out of the Hages South. So now it's time for the draw, Rich. You had some big cheers yesterday for the draw when the Americans won it. You started chanting USA down the microphone.
Yeah, and then my girls ended up getting 0 points, so I'm going to keep my sentiments to myself here.
Yeah, well, Day and Ross came fourth out of that pool with Heidrich Verscher Dupree from Switzerland. They're in the same pool as Lily and Elsa, so they're matching up again. There's an ace that's popped out. Did you see who got the queen, Rich?
Gvapilova Kubakova drew the queen.
They got it yesterday as well.
Yeah, so on the women's side, whoever draws the queen will start on the queen side, of course. On the men's side, drawing the king is the Jin card.
So just a recap of our group A: Lily and Elsa, Menengati, Orsitov, Kubakova, Gavapilova from the Czech Republic, the second team from the Czech Republic. Day and Ross, Piersma and Stuber. Exactly the same rules as yesterday. There's a queen's end, there's a challenger's end. The challengers have to knock the queens out, and you can only score at the queen's end, which is where the Czech Republic are at the moment, looking to side out once more. They came through an impressive group yesterday with Kaiser Meppelink, Belen and Soria and the Van Drill sisters, but this is a step up for Kubakova, Gavapilova. They took a the 5th in Baden just a couple of weeks ago on the World Tour. But, oh, that's April Ross. We know her.
We know her, and that's her bread and butter right there, just feasting from the left side.
I mean, is there anyone more dynamic in her in the approach of any female beach volleyball player than April Ross? She loads so heavy, good work with the arms.
Yeah, if you're looking to mimic somebody from a technical standpoint, certainly April would be a good person to watch.
Absolutely, and this is the best start we've seen from Ross and Day, which is interesting because they've taken their time to get going in the pool stages and also the playoffs. They left it really late to qualify, but M. Day is in rhythm. She passed well, and because she's in rhythm, she puts the ball away.
Yeah, not that it's an excuse, and not that either of those players are one to make excuses, but the long travel, a little bit of a layoff from training, as the Americans don't have the upcoming European Championships in which to compete. And so maybe took them an extra couple minutes, day or two to find their form, but they look good early here, getting themselves on the board with 3 points.
They trying to go late to the line, but she's beaten. CV European Championships taking place next week in Jurmala, Latvia. So beach volleyball backed up by beach volleyball. We're in for a bit of a treat. But just looking at the travel, how long does it take to get over one of those long journeys? Rich, you know it well. You're coaching Jake Gibb, Taylor Crabb, one of the best teams in the world. How long does it take to get jet lag out of the system?
Yeah, it takes a little while. I mean, there are things you can do to combat it. You know, you don't want to get to where you're going and go right to sleep and end up, I don't know, kind of continuing the downswing. But certainly coming out and competing, training, getting into the gym or something right away when you get to a place helps you do that. Nice start as well from the Dutch team, though, even as we see the ace kind of boot them from the queen side.
Yeah, when you're wondering what to expect, I mean, from the USA, you think about physicality and power. From the Dutch, we're thinking about some varied zones of setting. They're moving the ball across the net into different areas, and you can't predict what's coming all the time, that's for sure. For Lily and Elsa, you spoke about it as well, the ball control from the Spanish is sublime, and also there's a physicality from the Czech team as well. Meneghardi, experienced. Marta Meneghardi seems to have been around forever, but she's still only 30, which means she's got a long way left.
Yeah, she was kind of a prodigy coming out, right? Great serve there from Piersma.
Well, you think 2011 European champion, and that was the best part of 9 years ago.
Yeah.
Nice setting.
I mean, there you go. What a set there from Piersma. Nice little knuckle to the corner from Stube.
Almost playing that with the back to target. Had no choice, but good extension in the arms, and the ball gets there eventually.
And we're already seeing some variety from them. You mentioned that they do a lot of kind of unorthodox things. We saw them get 1 point in their first streak, going over on 2, like just bumping it over and surprising the defense so much that they just knuckled it right out of bounds. So we'll look to see kind of, I don't know, the new school game out of them, I would say.
Remember, the team who come 5th in this round, 15 minutes down, are out. See you later, au revoir.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen. How many different languages can we go?
Sayonara.
Sayonara. That's the way to say it. Well, looks a little bit down in the dumps at the moment, but there's so much time left for everyone. But Meneghardi, Orsatov, they can't afford to, alongside Lily and Elsa, that would be a big surprise. But Lily and Elsa do have that golden ball. They are the team that won their pool. Remember earlier on in the week.
Another chance for the young Dutchies. Oh, Yahtzee down the line, feasting. Nice swing from Piersma there.
One thing to see the feasting, but the setting and the width of the ball, again, trying to take the block on, go down the side. Yahtzee is...
We've kind of talked about what an advantage that is, though, right? Kind of you can expect where that ball's coming better as an offensive player when your partner's hand setting you.
Yeah, we talk a lot about rhythm, and hand setting does help keep you in rhythm. More than bump setting. I haven't seen a young Dutch team, out of all the young Dutch teams that are here, that have stepped up and showed so much maturity and calmness down the Queen's End as Piersma and Stube.
I mean, there again, Stube unable to kill that first one, but just an unbelievable set from her partner. Back to the net, shooting it up there 20 feet. And they've quickly got 6 on the scoreboard with just under 10 to go.
This time off the outside hand. Hands going from outside in. Leaves you slightly toolable. We called it yesterday Tool Town.
Tool Town.
Different type of Tool Town to the one that me and you belong to.
Right.
Great touch defensively. But the Czech team doing well here on 2. High line. Kavapilova shows a lot of cross court before very calmly placing that ball to the line, but now Kubakova from the right side breaking fairly early. Menengardi, Orsitutha does the breaking. Good defense, but they need to start making their opportunities count, Rich, a little bit more.
Yeah, that was a great dig from Orsitov, but a better set maybe even from Menengardi.
We also have the men's coming up afterwards. It was interesting. I'm sure we'll touch on it later, but talking to Tolle and Winkler yesterday, talking to them this morning at breakfast, they were talking very much about how they made 10 side-outs in a row in the first round, and it actually gassed them out for the next 35 minutes. So you have to be careful about how well you do play in this opening round, because
right.
10 side-outs in a row meant they just about got through because of their own fatigue.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. Especially as you lose teams each successive round, your turn comes up quicker and quicker, and fatigue does start to become a factor. Nice little line tap down from M. Day.
You're sounding slightly more positive about your American team today, Rich.
They're doing a nice job. We unfortunately lost Stockman and Larson yesterday. Nice little around the backside. We've seen them switch sides, though, already here.
Yeah,
M. Day having a little bit of a tough time in her unfamiliar right side. Yeah, April Ross, though, what can't she do, obviously? On 2 from the right.
And accessing the line.
Yeah.
Like, it's the hardest swing from hitting on 2 on the right side, is opening up and snapping it to the line. But you said it, what can't April Ross do? She had a great AVP series as well. She's
yeah, and this seems to have helped them access something here, the Americans. M. Day on the left side is a lot more effective, and we kind of discussed that yesterday. You know, what do you prefer? Do you prefer having M on her more natural side, as she's going to receive the lion's share of the serves anyways? And they seem to have kind of come to that understanding a little bit.
They might have just gone a long way to get there.
Yeah.
But it does show, well, April Ross has been playing for so long now that she can do anything in this game. She's a phenomenal competitor and a credit to the sport of beach volleyball for sure.
Yeah, one of the things we talk about all the time in regular volleyball, let's call it, is the ability to have your tactics evolve, adapting to kind of what you're getting from your opponent. And certainly that's a necessity in this format where your opponent's different every time you step on the court.
Yeah, we've talked about game plans, and almost everyone that we've heard from during this competition has said we don't really have a specific game plan. We're worrying about what we can control and what our game is. But M. Day is playing really well today, Rich.
Just sends out one a little long, yeah. And so they've adapted their game plan from their side, right? They've kind of figured out what's going to work best for them, and we've heard a lot of teams say that kind of same thing. We just want to play to our own strengths. And the Czech team doing a nice job of that right now on 7 points.
Yeah, Roste leading the Czech team by 1. Kubakova, Kapilova. Here's Mishduba going well too, but Lily and Elsa have got this golden ball, but at the moment, I don't know how they're going to use it, but they have to get in front of Menengardi and Orsitov, but it's Orsitov and Menengardi that go down to the Queen's End, and this is crucial moments in time because Lily and Elsa were really, really strong in that opening game, but also they booked their flight really early to go to the CV European Championships to Euromiller.
They're going to use it here. Interesting. With 5 minutes to play, they're realizing that they need to get over to that queen side and start to score. So they're replaying that. They use their golden ball here.
History has just been made at King of the Court as the golden ball, the first ever golden ball is used to replay the point as Wash goes by the wayside though, as Lily and Elsa just can't make a block defense. And we mentioned that about both Spanish teams, Herrera Gavira as well. Spain is so good at siding out, but sometimes struggle converting their block defense chances.
Yeah, I think Lili and Elsa play a pretty good block defense game. They just kind of haven't found a rhythm to it here. And as Menegatti and Orsi Toth continue to put points on the scoreboard, they get further and further out of reach for the Spaniards.
What we are finding though, Rich, is that for some teams who back themselves in from the service line, this is a really, really good game, good form of the game, sorry for them.
Yeah, absolutely. There obviously is kind of a different approach mentally to service pressure because there isn't a consequence, a direct consequence other than having to go to the back of the line. So teams really kind of tend to go after it a little more than they might from the end line.
One thing we know is that if Lili and Elsa do get to the Queen's End now, or very, very soon, they still have a chance. They definitely can. They certainly can side out 6 or 7 balls in a row. Top 4 go through to the next 15 minutes, and then the top 3 are through to the next round, but it does work on seeding, so we will be having a 3-round contest.
Getting critical here, though. With just 3.5 left, they're going to have very few chances remaining to get over to that queen side.
Kubakova really has unleashed on a couple of those angle balls in the last few minutes. Touch. Outrageous from Emily Day. It doesn't go her way in transition, but the reactions back there, sharp today.
Great dig, great set in transition also from Mabel Ross, as you would expect.
Passing off the net.
I mean, what form the Italians have found here. That's 10 straight for them now, is it not?
Yeah, sorry, I completely got confused just a moment ago. Menegatti, Orsikoff crunching balls on the angle and really hustling around, so that's 10 for them. Lili and Elsa now have their chance, and it's a big, big chance for them. They're running out of time, but they've had to wait a long time to get down to this Queen's End. But unfortunately, you go down to the Queen's End, and who do you see straight away? You see April Ross, which is probably not the face you want to see at the challenger end when you're desperate for a point.
Great play there from the Americans, Ross and Day. Another great transition set. Good scoopy from M. Day in retreat, and a nice put away off the block. And unfortunately, that's more than likely going to do it for the Spaniards, who went from the penthouse to the outhouse, unfortunately.
Well, for some of us, we started in the outhouse, so chase is on. The outhouse is maybe where they're heading, Spain, but you never know. One more go. They have to try and get their way back down to the Queen's End, but it's very good news for the other 4 teams. Top 3 teams will go through after 3 rounds, but whoever gets knocked out in the next round will be going to a 3-team playoff a little bit later on. So we have to keep an eye. That's very tight setting, and that brings Orsikoff back into the game, and she's been a credit to Italy throughout this opening stage.
Yeah, kind of received most of the serves for her team and sided out really well. That great serve from Spain up the gut, and this will be their last chance. A minute 10, is that enough to get 6 points?
Can you make 6 defenses? If they do, then they would have been down there the longest, surely. There's 1. You've got to put the ball away at the first time of asking. No long rallies, please, for Spain. Need to keep siding out to the left side, driving back through the ball. Very good. 2 in a row.
There's
Big
2.
screams of yes. Now where this is going, we have no idea. King of Court coming alive with our queens.
Great run down there. Oh. The long rallies of which you spoke, Louis. And that'll do it for Spain, unfortunately. I love the nail-biting nature of this format, though. It just always seems that the team that needs to be on the queen side ends up on the queen side at the end. Whether they get there or not is another matter, of course. But there always seems to be a chance.
Face of frustration for Spain as the clock ticks down in this opening round. Czech girls put another point on the board. And And there we have it, round 1. And it just shows how spontaneous this King of the Court concept is for the Queens. Lily and Elsa, they won their opening pool, but they go out in the second round, only scoring twice.
Yeah, disappointing for them, without a doubt. They did make history as the first team to employ the golden ball. Unfortunately, it didn't get them much advantage, unfortunately, so we will say goodbye to them. But great performances from all the other teams in this group. The Americans played well, I thought. The Czech team played particularly well. Obviously, the Italians, Menegatti and Orsital, played well. And another strong performance from the young Dutch pair of Stube and Piersma.
Yeah, there they are on the screen. They came out of the traps firing again, and that's something we've seen in both rounds from them. They haven't had to go through the playoffs yet, and they've been really, really strong from the off. Their offense is good, but their block defense as well.
I mean, I'm not sure if that's a dragon or not, but it instills fear in me. I'll tell you that much.
Yesterday you were speaking about, does an arm full of tattoos make the ball, be hit stronger? Don't know if that's the case.
It may just be what it feels like coming at you as a defender, you know? I mean, I see the big tatted sleeve coming at me. I wince a little bit extra, I think.
As we head down to Marloes Wesseling court side, who's going to catch up with the Spanish pairing, Lily and Elsa.
Lily, Elsa, I see some disappointed faces.
Yes. Very disappointed.
Tell me about it.
It was bad.
Yeah.
There's no explanation. I think we were out of timing in block defense, and that made us weak in defense, and we didn't get enough. How do you say?
Yeah, like
enough breaks
for side out.
And so that's it. You know, if you're not in the side of the king of the court, then you don't win. So.
Yeah, this is the cruel part of King of the Court, right? Compared to the normal game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think we kind of struggled. We couldn't block defense, and I think this changed like everything. No, kind of our mood. No, like. Yeah, as a team. But well, we tried. We never give up, but it didn't work.
Sometimes that happens.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy the King of the Court experience?
Yeah,
of course.
We really loved it. We think it's a great format, and we're willing to come back again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, Lily and Elsa disappointed, a pair that have played 2 Olympic Games, 148 events since 2007. One of the most experienced teams on the tour. You have to be good to go to 3 Olympic Games. But there's a big cross next to their name at the top left of the screen. Disappointed, but you can see how experienced that they are. They take it in their stride because they've been through the washing machine a few times in this sport.
Absolutely, I love those girls. They're so positive and kind of cheery all the time. Even in defeat, you know, they were very bubbly, and they said, hey, you know, we didn't do what it took. We didn't get the job done, and them's the consequences, as it were, right? So obviously disappointment, but as we've seen from all the players, even when they go out, they're stoked to be here, stoked to have this opportunity to compete, and I think the same could be said there for Lily and Elsa. Great showing from them in round 1. Great tournament from those ladies.
Absolutely. We are ready to go with round 2. Which team are going to be going to the playoff? We are about to find out. Well, there's a good chance for Menegatti and Orsi Tüth to stake their claim and get off to a good start, but the service pressure was too much for them, so the Czech team head back down to side out, and they are aced. April Ross, how many times have we seen that middle to middle absolute pinger?
Pinger?
Pinger of a serve. New team put together, remember, for this competition. M-Day took a second in Waikiki in 2018. You never know. Stranger things have happened in this sport.
Absolutely. And again, they've gone back to April on the left side, M-Day on the right side, so we'll see how that works for them.
Menegatti having a little role. Remember, she's also been to 2 Olympic Games, 2011 European champion with Greta Ciccolari.
In the U.S., we call that shot the Statue of Liberty, but I suppose in Italy that wouldn't make much sense.
That doesn't translate so well. Put it that way. But the Italians, well, 5th in the World Champs last year. Amazing World Championships in Hamburg.
What do you think of this? The Leaning Tower of Pokey.
Leaning Tower of Pokey. It depends if the ball gets caught inside or outside. But yeah, the Leaning Tower of Pokey.
Another great serve up the middle there from April Ross. Americans with another shot on the queen side. Only ones on the board thus far.
For those who have been with us the whole week, it sounds like Rich Lambourne is running out of material, so he's starting to create some new lines.
It's going to be about 98% terrible, but we'll just work our way through it.
I like the Leaning Tower of Pokey. We're going to see it soon. Almost one right there from MD. The set was so close to the net, so tight that you usually see the knuckle come out when the ball and the set is close to the net.
What a great pursuit there. Oh my goodness, just all the heart, all the effort from the young Dutch pair. Unfortunately, no result that time.
First time we haven't seen them come out of the traps firing as well. Kubakova sees the line open. Great read from Menengardi. She released to that line really late, but again, it's one thing making a dig, but it's so variable defense. It's really hard to put the ball away in transition. Sometimes you have less angles, more options available.
Yeah, absolutely. That second contact, the transition set, so important. You see a great one there from April Ross off the top of the block of Emily Day. Puts her partner up in perfect position to roll that over the line.
We talk a lot about Phil Dalhauser being a great blocker and server, but one thing he has built a career on is being a great transition setter. Anders Moe as well is a great transition setter.
Great transition setter, and another, obviously I get to see Jake Gibb day in and day out, but that's one of the hallmarks of his game is transition setting and why he's had such a long and storied career.
Absolutely. Jake Gibb, like April Ross, seems to be somebody who just pulls the person they're playing with up a few levels, and that's key in this sport.
One of my all-time favorite nicknames is the Latvian guy's called Jake Gibb Dracula, because every time a partner leaves him, they kind of fall by the wayside to a certain extent, and he just takes, the blood from them, as it were, and rises to new levels with his new partnership.
Okay, can I take that and use it?
Absolutely, absolutely. That's Plavins and Samoilovs, I think, came up with that.
Is that Plavins joking again, is it?
Oh yeah, I mean, that's high quality stuff, so you gotta figure Plavins is involved on some level. Another nice run here by the young Dutch pair of Piersma and Stuba. They lead with 3 points on the board around the back side. Slicing und dicing from the right side.
I like what you did there. I like it. Simple but effective.
Yeah. It's another one I stole from Geeter, if you know him. Legend in the announcing game. He's much like Plavins. Anything you co-opt from him is going to be high quality.
Absolutely. Chase is on.
Oh, the net touch there from Orsi Toth gives point number 6 to the young Dutchies. They're rolling right now. A nice little streak.
I was going to say dummy two ball, but it was a standing two ball in the end, and a bit of a mix-up. Cloudy-minded Buck Stuber that time. And that gave a free ball to the opposition, but there's a missed serve from April Ross. And this is starting to heat up. Remember, at 5 minutes, the serves start to count. 3 missed serves in quick succession will mean a point for the team at the Queen's End. Oh, knuckle cuddy. And maybe the Czech girls are going to come alive again here. And maybe they've always played in the shadow of Slakova and Hermanova, but they really have. They come out of that shadow in this competition.
Yeah, they've shown us some high quality here in this tournament thus far. And I don't think that it's, that they're careering. I think this is the level at which they play and at which they're accustomed to playing.
So effective. It's Menengardi, Ositoth who are struggling, but that will help the cause. Keep banging on the door, Italy.
Step 1, you got to generate opportunities, and then step 2, you got to capitalize. There, Orsi Toth does just that.
A very calm Italian team. Loves going after that sharper angle, Orsi Toth. A lot of balls have gone towards her. April Ross usually plays her volleyball with Alex Kleinman, who's taken that off-season opportunity. in this really inconsistent and slightly strange 2020 where we're just... Sounds a bit keen, Rich, but we're happy to be here, aren't we?
Certainly, I am. I mean, there's only so much Netflix one person can watch at home, right? Before they have to get out of the house and do something.
I think looking at you, you've been doing a few other things during lockdown. Come here looking all swole. Just a slight guided to the sideline. Dave from downtown, good break from Stuber. Opportunity coming for Stuber and Piersma. They really are not a surprise team. We know that Piersma is a national champion in the Netherlands, and that's not easy. It's a deep roster.
It is a deep roster, and you can see the quality of their training too. I mean, just even in little things like Puk Stuber following that ball to the end line, following it and watching it go out. They obviously, we talked about the hand setting a little bit yesterday. That has their offense varied and quite diverse. Nice block there though from Vopilova.
Well, you can see this wide ball is working for them. The wide ball and almost like the chop back or the cut back on the sharp angle is very good for them. But service pressure, April Ross is 3 or 4 of those today.
Yeah, that's 3 aces already in just this second round. That tough floater up the middle.
April Ross being served to the center, trying to take angles away from her. She does go to the line. It's difficult to hit those sharper angles when you are served inside.
Nice play over there from Menegatti. Wow. Just some high quality defense from Marta Menegatti there.
She plays that overhand, but she's super still. She's very calm and gets the rub of the green. What a format. Day 3 these days are going so quick. Also, Rich Lambourne taking part in some presentation today, so we'll be down with you for some courtside interviews.
You've heard of a jack of all trades, Louis? People refer to me as the jerk of all trades.
Jack of all trades. I mean, the life advice this week has been unbelievable. I'm going to be paying a high hourly rate to get some life advice in the future. The comedy's been strong, and now we get to see you. Definitely a face for the television.
Nicely done. Marta Menegatti, not a fan of that play, but a fair play by Puk Stuber.
Back set coming from Puk Stuber. Just guided away once more, but look who's coming back. There's a chance. DJs
have a difficult job in that the music is constantly going. We refer to it as a discotheque on the sand, right? I mean, the music never stops. It's constantly thumping in here.
You're taking Julius Brinks, another Olympic gold medalist, part of the team. His term, discotheque, that's a very European bit of flavour to discotheque.
Absolutely.
It is definitely a discotheque out here, and it's, especially at night with the lasers going, it's really gnarly. But also for the players, they're used to playing in situations, and we've been speaking to players all week. They've been talking a lot about the music doesn't stop, so it's hard to communicate. And you're a coach. Something you encourage is communication. Like any good relationship, you need to communicate, and the players are struggling with that. No struggle with the block angle there by the Czech ladies.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially in this format, you would think communication would be paramount in that you're facing a different opponent every time you step out onto the sand. So you need to kind of be on the same page with your partner. That is something I stress with my team. It doesn't necessarily matter what we're doing, just so long as we're all on the same page, right? And so that has been a challenge for the players, and something I think they're becoming more accustomed to, is that this environment with the music constantly going and kind of the crowd cheering and so forth.
Speaking to Marleen van Ursel a little bit earlier on, another Dutch, very good Dutch player, Olympian and also a twice European champion. She was saying how tough it was to take everything in their stride out here. It's so stressful because of the music and because of everything. Also another Dutchie, Sanne Keizer, was saying how different it is, and I just mentioned how nice it is to see these players out of their comfort zone for a change. I mean, every game is slightly out of your comfort zone, but we've seen them really far and wide out of their comfort zone the last couple of days.
Yeah, You know, in normal volleyball situations, these players are so good and they have kind of their routines dialed and their game planning dialed so precisely that, I don't know, this lack of precision, let's call it, really has them out of sorts a little bit.
Absolutely. Who is not out of sorts is April Ross, another one. It's not easy to get the feet inside the ball, turn that back line on the 2-ball, and also a bump set for days there. The way that she holds the platform is so long and smooth.
Yeah, M. Day, really a great bump setter of the volleyball. Interesting to see teams going after April Ross.
Would that be because of the setting of M. Day? They may be saying maybe we can almost ruffle the feathers of the USA.
Yeah, I don't know. M. Day is going to just lay up juice to that right side all the time.
Or also, if she's laying up juice, as you call it, is it to get her out of hitting the 2-ball? Maybe that's uncomfortable. If M. Day's passing well and the 2-ball's been so effective, so many different ways in this game to be successful and so many different ways to put teams under pressure.
Yeah, it's tough. Obviously, we talked about that left side being M. Day's natural side, so she's quite proficient at siding out over there. Maybe teams just, going with their best serve, which maybe for the time being is to that one corner. Oh, wow, what a save, and that one's going to go. Ooh.
That sums up the Czech performance the last 2 weeks. It's a bump Cully that's seen, no net touch. Oh, that's what the crowd came to see.
What a play out of the net there from Vóley-playa to keep that alive and just put up a gem to her partner.
Ball just sat in the air, nice peak on it for Kubakova to really fire up to the line.
Great change of direction there defensively from April Ross. Kind of started going towards that line shot, stopped, changed direction, and went and got the cutty.
I want to draw our attention back to April Ross and Emily Day. They're winning at the moment just quickly. They are so much improved from the last 2 days. They've obviously acclimatized. As you said earlier, they've figured themselves out and they're finding a recipe that really works. They lead for the moment, and really Menegati and Orsitov at 1:38 left on the clock. Well, they're looking at elimination here in Utrecht. They have to get down to the Queen's End. There's a handling error against Stuber. That is a risk for the handling or the hand setters of this world, but it's a risk that's totally worth the reward. And as you said, the rhythm that it gives you and the accuracy.
Big chance here now. Menegati Orsitov. All they've got to get is 3 points to overtake the Czech pair of Kubakova and Vóley-playa. Can they do it?
Orsitov serve to the right-hand side. There's one. And we've seen this multiple times already, Rich, when teams come in clutch at the end. Have Italy got what it takes to be clutch? There's a change of serve. Menegati from the left side. 2-2, Richie.
2-2.
2-2.
That was one of those pokies. And I mean, I love the never say die attitude of the young Dutch pair, though.
This will keep Italy in the competition for 3 in a row. No, this is a huge point as Czech try and go down to the Queen's End. Tied at 4s. Jumbo! No!
Right on the line.
Right on the line, right on cue. A jumbo from Menegati has probably just qualified them through to the semi-finals. What a time to hit the baseline with a jumbo.
9, 8, 7.
And a huge block there from Orsitov. And that'll remove the Czech pair.
Is that 4 in a row at business time? 4-5 in a row from Italy. They have a chance to score again. Almost as if they've been playing for it. Cheeky 2-ball. Netherlands are happy to finish with a bit of joy, but that means not a lot. But for Menegati and Orsitov, it's another team that leave it late to go full throttle and qualify for the next round.
Doesn't much matter when you find your rhythm, so long as you find it, I guess we're finding out here. Business Time, by the way, one of my favorite songs from Flight of the Conchords.
It's business?
It's business time.
On a Wednesday. It's actually Friday here, and it is business time. We had a band meeting yesterday between Brouwer and Newson.
Yeah.
Volleyball players come pianists, King of the Court, putting the players really at the front of the action, and really, really good to see. We've got Marko Kratka coming up, and I mean, they're big shoes and a big shirt to fill, Rich. He's filling your shirt up here, but as you go down to do some courtside stuff, we are going to go to the courtside now with Marloes Veselink, who are with the Czech pairing.
Girls, the clock, that's what happened, right, in the end?
Yeah, pretty much. Like, we had our chances, especially in the beginning on the queen size, but there was a little bit miscommunication on the reception, and then we didn't have the opportunity, and the clock ran out.
Yeah, that's King of the Court also. In the end, it was actually a battle between you and Italy, so it was a battle between you two in the battle of the bigger group. How do you focus?
Yeah, I think in the first chances we focused on ourselves. We were trying to give our best, but unfortunately, as you said, the clock is ticking and without mercy. So.
Well, you have another chance tomorrow in the playoffs. Good luck with that, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Well, as the crowd do the Macarena here, it's goodbye to Gavapilova from the Czech Republic, but we will see them again in the playoff round to see who makes up those final places in the semi-final tomorrow. Huckstuber finding her form, and maybe the Spanish, their national dance, the Macarena.
I'm not so sure they take credit for that. I really love that. I think I'm going to steal that expression from Mikhaila Kubikova there. She said, "The clock is ticking and without mercy." And that was kind of indicative of what happened to them in that second round. Some good volleyball throughout this tournament, but they'll have another chance at the playoff tomorrow to make it through to the semis and the finals.
Yeah, and you really wouldn't bet against them, would you?
No, they've played some good volleyball. It's just, it gets tougher and tougher, obviously, as this goes on. Teams get more and more accustomed to this format. Obviously, the cream rising to the top. And, not surprising anymore that we're seeing the young Dutchies play some great volleyball, stick around with top teams in the world.
Yeah, there they are, the Dutchies. Piersma and Stuber. They've been siding out with ease. They run the ball around a little bit. They make it difficult for blockers to get their line and their timing, and then they take full-on control. But this is another step up because this is the third round, and we know what the third round's for, Rich. It's for the golden ball. New concept. So many new concepts here at King of the Court. Socially distanced volleyball, but the golden ball is to see who can pause play and replay a point later down the line. Ross and M. Day start down the Queen's End due to the fact that they were so impressive in the last round, pirouetting, chipping high line, happy days.
Such a great set there from April Ross. That has to be right on a platter for a right-handed player from the right side to kind of pirouette, as you mentioned, and hit that ball. Well done by the Americans, but a great serve there from the Italians. Get them over to the Queen's side for the first time here in round 3.
If there's a guy who knows a lot about platters, it would be you. Tied at once. April Ross has, as you said, put the ball on a platter multiple times today, but M. Day has been mightily impressive in the shots that she's found. She's done well breaking, the blocking's been good, and the Americans have served well as well. Talking of tough serving, if you're part of the Dutch program, you have to have a bit of a weapon of a serve, but wide plays this time from Menengardi, sneaks it past the outside hand.
Yeah, Stuba kind of stopped short and dove out to the line, but not quite far enough, I guess, that time.
Jumbo from Menengardi, that's twice we've seen. That jumbo in the previous round was maybe, we have a play of the day here at King of the Court. And that might be play of the day in our first round, or the second round of the day in our first phase, because that jumbo at crunch time just hit the back of the line.
Certainly, if you're talking about timeliness, that was the play of the day, no doubt.
We had you singing yesterday.
I mean,
got you
the DJ is just
impersonating
killing it right now. I couldn't be more excited. I get to work next to you, Louis. I get to watch some world-class volleyball, and all with the DJ playing the soundtrack of my life.
Hang on, pardon the pun here, Rich, but you've changed your tune from about half an hour ago when you were courtside with Marloes Wesseling, and you said that you'd upgraded from this position.
That doesn't mean it's not a pleasure to work with you, my friend.
You said the scenery was better.
And I stand by it.
I don't blame you. Absolutely. Ross Day. Currently on 1, Meningadi also took. Are on 4, so everything is going their way, and Piersma and Stuber that with 12-16 left, we have got loads of time here for you. Whether you're watching beach volleyball for the first time or whether you're part of the community around the world, this is an impressive concept that we hope just triggers sport back to the top of everyone's priority to go out and see live sport with a live audience, socially distanced. It's a sight to behold, and it's a pleasure to be back.
Great shot. That's kind of the classic M-Day shot right there. Great wrist away, Cuddy.
Yeah, no digging that one.
Yeah, and they've kind of bounced back and forth on the court, which side they're playing. It'd be interesting to maybe get some insight from them if we get a chance to talk to them after this round as to what goes into that decision. But it's worked well for them today. As you've mentioned multiple times, they've found some nice form here.
Yeah, I do have a habit of repeating myself at times throughout it. Meningadi did really well there, Rich. He sat in the seam, made the dig, and then wrist away. Really clutch transition to get the Italians back down to the Queen's end, but they have to stay there now, but not this time, denied, because Puck Stuber is pressing.
And Meningadi tries the on-1, but if anybody's going to be ready for that, it's going to be the young Dutch pair who kind of make that a big hallmark of their own game.
Yeah, and it's funny you say that. You sort of build your own foundations as a team, and that's how you see the game. So if somebody else is good at it, it's going to be what you're looking for, because it's what, as you said, your foundations build on the same thing.
Right.
Lara Ludwig, talking of that one game, goes up later on with Maggie Kojic. We haven't seen them since day one, and they were impressive. Again, a slow start in that round, but they came out on top, so they will have a golden ball. Lara Ludwig had no idea what to do with that golden ball, but the Dutchies go back down to the Queen's end.
I think she thought she got to take it home with her, which is dead false.
That is the wrong answer. You need a lot of golden balls to be able to take the golden balls home with you.
Yeah, they showed a really great level, though, the other day, and I would look for them to be doing the same this evening when we get to see them again.
They're a limited edition, the golden balls. On to again. Stuber just trying to take every opportunity, but April Ross sees it all and takes full advantage. And that's a good sign of what happens when that second ball set over the net doesn't work.
Right. April, the experienced veteran, says, "I see you, youngster. Not on my watch."
I see you, I raise you. Yeah, it's Ross and Day now that have taken the lead, and they are getting better throughout this competition, which makes it fascinating as we reach the final stages. M-Day, so good today. Playing on that left side, she's good at kicking out, good at getting an approach line on a diagonal to go and attack the ball. And the deep house is back here in Utrecht.
Yeah, and it's interesting because M-Day is doing the blocking full time for her squad here, and she's typically a blocker on the AVP and elsewhere on the World Tour as well. But there's just kind of a comfort level you can get into as a blocker when you know someone like April Ross is behind you defensively, right? You don't feel like you have to take so much. You can just kind of go, hey, here's my zone, I'm going to take it, and you can kind of work into that symbiosis a little bit more comfortably.
Yeah, try and go early and send the ball to April Ross.
Just let the experienced veteran clean it all up behind you.
April Ross goes on 2 again, and have a look, she's playing on the left side, I think, again at the moment. So they've changed again, they're just changing the pattern, changing the picture for the service teams, which is intriguing in its own way.
Adding yet another wrinkle to a game with already a lot of wrinkles.
More wrinkles.
Yeah, this is like the Sharpay of beach volleyball.
Makes it very tough if you're serving and you think that Emily Day, because you have no time to organise yourself in this game,
right.
Something as small as changing sides could just mean that April Ross picks the ball up and bangs one back. It's fascinating. If April Ross is trying to get into the game, which is where she operates best, she doesn't want to be a passenger in this bus. She wants to be driving the bus all the way to the finish line.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if you take your brief moment on the sideline with your partner to discuss a strategy, and then all of a sudden they flip sides, then what do? You know, that is a good point you bring up. Great dig there, M. Day in retreat. And the cutty over the top. Nice play, M. Day. Another great transition set from April Ross there.
Yesterday, Rich, you gave us the chant of USA when your ladies came out to this center court. You're a bit more reserved today, but they're playing a little bit better, and they're looking like they really could cause some of the big teams here big problems.
I'm going to wait till they seal it, and then I'm going to go full Patriot.
Are you? What does that consist of?
You'll just have to wait and see, I guess. Don't worry, there's not a tea party involved or anything like that. So
we do love our tea parties. There ain't no party like my nana's tea party. Driving through. Oh, left hand.
Great block, but just kind of clipped the net at the bottom side. Good Piersma. We kind of saw this from them yesterday too, right? Like they played great in the first 2 rounds and then didn't manage to score much in the 3rd and final round, but maybe they're wily enough to know that either way they're through to the next round.
Yeah, maybe they've used all their gas in the first 2, as we said about Tolle Vickley yesterday. They're just like, if you come out going 100, that gas tank's going to go down quickly.
Yeah, that's kind of the smart way to approach it, though, if you had to kind of talk it through, right? Because you don't want to save gas and have gas left in the tank and not end up getting to that round.
Yeah, having a full tank of gas is no use in the hotel room.
That's absolutely right.
Menengardi frustrated, but they've done fantastic work considering where they were 20 minutes ago, on the brink of elimination, or not elimination, but to the playoff rounds. They've got their way back and they're in control on 10, but the Italians will be celebrating now because the young Dutchies, who haven't scored at the Queen's End yet, have knocked the Americans out, and it looks like now that the Italians of Menengardi, I don't want to say it, but maybe the favourites.
Yeah, it's anybody's game still. We have just inside of 5 minutes remaining on the clock, but if the Italians can put together a streak here, perhaps they can close it out early. Remember, it's a 15-minute round, but if somebody gets to 15 points before that 15-minute clock is up, that'll end the round and announce the winner.
From the inside, tries to find a really cute angle from the inside. Tough swing from Orsakov, but she was going high risk again for high reward. 4:05 left. Puckstuber needs to find some joy. They don't want to go home on a duck.
And that gets them off the goose egg.
Goose egg. A duck in English terms. Goose egg for you. Some way to get off the goose egg as well. From the middle. Menengardi's been isolated at times. She hasn't been doing much, and that's what this sport, or this format of the game can do to you. We talked to Arnaud Gatiorat yesterday from France, who was frustrated because the French men were really unlucky yesterday. They tied up and they didn't get through because they weren't at the King's End for as long as the opposition. But he felt that he was a passenger the whole way through that game and he couldn't get any rhythm or he couldn't affect the game in any way.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough if you have very few trips to the king or queen side, and then if they serve primarily your partner, you could feel like you haven't touched the ball in a while. Certainly if one comes to you late, you'll have no kind of offensive rhythm.
Menengardi 3 or 4 times has got herself into a fantastic defensive position and then made sure that she puts the transition away. Once again showing it's not about how you just play defense, but it's about putting the ball away in transition.
Yeah, that kind of showed the skill that has had her, not only a prodigy in the sport, but one of its top players for the better part of a decade.
Yeah, these two won a title in Sochi back in 2015, but Menengardi, that 2011 European Championship, when she came on the scene, it was a sight to behold. And she's still playing super high level, but 2:16 on the clock. And going down to the Queen's End, the Dutchies. Miss serves, need 3 for them to count. Yesterday, Rich, was it 6 in a row in the men's round that we saw?
6 in a row, yeah. The aforementioned French pair, Gatiorat and Quincy I, stared at 6 straight missed serves to start off that round that they were playing in, and it had no result. No points for them, no penalty for the offenders, and then they ended up getting put out.
Yeah, they actually thought they would have qualified when it came down to that overtime call of who was down there the longest, but it's not about who's down there the longest, it's who has the best run if the scores are tied. Whoever has the longest run of points at the King or Queen's End is the team that goes through. We saw a lovely cross line last time out from Piersma. She saw the block go in angle, she went back to the line, and now we see her get absolutely munched.
What a great serve there from Ross. Can they eke ahead and steal the golden ball here inside the final minute?
Well, you'd say 3 would be very close, opening up a 2-point lead. Serves not counting yet, 30 seconds. Miss serves start to count on the scoreboard. Menengardi.
Great swing, M. Day. That is a tough one with very little approach to keep your arm high enough to hit that line. Well done, M. Day.
30 seconds.
30 seconds, services count. So a rip from Emily Day once more, but scores are tied. Huge moments to see who wins the golden ball. Emily Day.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's a clutch play as well from the Netherlands, but the USA now, they move 1 in front. Menengardi also they need to score now and go down. Miss serve means good night.
Yeah, that's point number 12. So the Americans, USA, USA. The look on your face says it all. You can't stand that the Americans won. I couldn't be more elated.
The face of, here we go, Rich is gloating again. Coming from the guy who doesn't gloat whatsoever. If you're gloating, you must be very, very happy. The Americans...
Well, it's great to see them kind of correct their form almost, or find their form from yesterday. Sort of, I don't know, barely snuck through, had to go to a playoff round and put together a fine performance there just to get to today, and then really found their footing. Did a nice job kind of switching sides back and forth a lot, and played some really high-level volleyball. So congratulations to April Ross and M. Day, and to our other 2 teams as well, Marta Menengardi, Vicky Orsi-Toth, and Stuba Piersma.
Yeah, of course they're going to be happy, the Americans. They're on the brink of elimination last night. It was the final round of the playoff where the Queen of the Court was reversed and the winning team went through and their work was done instead of the losing team going out. But 3 teams go through to the semi-final. And we have a 4th placed team in the Czech ladies who will be going to the playoff, a 3-team playoff to see who will be going through. But we're going to head down court side back to Marloes Vesselink, who's with our winners with that golden ball. There it is.
Yes, April, Emily are winners with the golden ball. I think you just showed us that King of the Court is being at the right place at the right time, isn't it?
There's definitely a little bit of luck involved, and one of the benefits of being kind of a new partnership is we're still figuring things out, and we can switch sides and do what we feel like is right for the moment, and I think it worked for us.
Yesterday we saw you guys battling through playoffs, barely surviving, being relieved that you could still play. You took all your chances today, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We were very happy to make it to today, and we wanted to win every round, and not get by, but to win every round.
Sounds like a good plan.
Yeah.
The golden ball is in your hands. You can take it to the semis tomorrow. Are you gonna sleep over it and think about what to do with it?
We'll definitely talk about our strategy. We've been trying to tweak the strategy. It's very different than regular volleyball, so I think having the golden ball is just another tool in our pocket, so we'll talk about it.
You guys, you talk about it a lot. I think a lot of players do, right? More conversations about the game than normally?
Yeah, I mean, we're learning the rules and how to strategize, so it'll be fun to figure out what to do with this.
We'll be watching you tomorrow. Thanks.
Thank you. Woo!
Well, Rich, very happy, April Ross and Emily Day. It's nice to know that we're not the only two people having numerous conversations about the golden ball.
Yeah, to echo the sentiments of April and Emily, woo! Great job by the American girls getting through. Yeah, and we talked about it up here a little bit, right? And they mentioned it as well. They kind of switch sides based on what they feel is right for any given moment, and it worked out very, very well for them here this afternoon.
I mean, when you play with April Ross, she is so adaptable, but Emily Day, for me, really did play well.
She played great, yeah, and it was certainly an upgrade in their level from both players from yesterday, so kudos to them, and it'll be interesting to see what they do with the golden ball. We saw Lily and Elsa use it. Unfortunately, it wasn't even quite enough, so hopefully it'll work out better for the Americans tomorrow.
Absolutely. Rich Lambourne, once again, it's been a pleasure. Olympic gold medalist, part-time comedian, life coach, the life advice, we've had it all here today, but you're going to take a slight break in the commentary position as you go down courtside, conduct some interviews, and we might see your face and hear your voice in another role very, very soon. You'll be replaced by the player and always smiling Marto Klattega.
Time to get some more smiles up here in the booth, so I'll turn it over to Big Marco.
Absolutely. So we're going to take a short break here while we wait for the men's, but please do not go anywhere. The King of the Court, socially distanced, the crowd are in, the atmosphere is electric, but it is safe in here. Thank you for joining us. A good day for the Americans, and we'll be back soon.